The Heartbreakers, Chapter 1, Starbucks. I pressed my forehead against the passenger side window and let my eyes slip over the dark world flying past me. It was too early in the morning to focus much on anything, but we had been driving all night, and I knew that if I didn't get caffeine soon, I would never make it through the day. As my eyelids began to flutter closed, a green sign caught my attention. I shot straight up in my seat. "Drew, stop! It's a 24-hour Starbucks!" Startled by my sudden outburst, my brother accidentally jerked the wheel to the left, and the car swerved a foot into the next lane. There was barely any traffic to crowd the 5 a.m. streets, but I could see the surprise on Drew's face. "Heck, Stella, you could have got us killed," Drew said, letting out a breath of relief when he successfully pulled our car back into the right lane. Then he flicked his blinker on and turned into the parking lot. That scared the crap out of me. "Sorry," I answered, a small smile playing on my lips. "Coffee's on me. What do you want?" "Just a regular cup of joe. No creamer." I wrinkled my nose. "That's disgusting," I told him as I unbuckled my seatbelt. "That's how you're supposed to drink it," he told me as he settled back into his seat to wait. Shaking my head, I climbed out of the car and headed towards the shop. When I stepped inside, the bell rang above me. A grin slowly tugged at the corners of my lips as the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled my nose and perked me up. There was one employee behind the counter, a middle-aged woman with fluffy hair, who was taking the order of the only customer in the shop. As I waited for my turn, I studied the boy in front of me. He was tall and lean and must have been around my age, but I couldn't get a good look at his face. Brown hair poured out of his beanie, and he was wearing a fitted white t-shirt, designer jeans, and a pair of gray Vans. Simple but stylish. I couldn't help but look him up and down in a second. Normally, I was into guys with big muscles and facial hair, but something about this boy was interesting. His whole look seemed artsy, and I liked it. When he ordered and moved aside, I quickly glanced away, not wanting to be caught staring at a stranger's butt. He turned finally, noticed that I was standing behind him, and my breath caught my throat. I tried to swallow, but I tried to swallow and get more air into my lungs, but then he smiled. It was one of those full smiles, accompanied with an adorable set of dimples. His smile could knock any girl off her feet. All I could do was stare at it like an idiot. Then his eyes flicked down to the camera around my neck, my most prized possession. I grabbed the camera protectively, and his smile faltered. Neither of us moved. The boy forced another smile onto his face and waited, almost as if he had expected me to say something. His gaze made me squirm. Trying my best to ignore the boy's strange look, I stepped up to the counter. The woman took more interest in my baby than the boy did. "Oh, is that the new Canon?" she asked as her fingers twitched with excitement. "Yeah," I told her, happy to talk about it. "My parents got it for me for an early birthday present. It takes the best landscapes." The nerves that had started twisting in my stomach dissolved. Talking about photography always helped me relax. "I've been saving up for it for weeks," she responded. There was an edge of envy in her voice. "It's definitely worth it. I'm going down to Chicago today to see if I can get some good pictures," I told her. Maybe that was a lie, but I knew that the boy was still listening to our conversation. I was too embarrassed to admit what I was actually doing. Next week, Friday, was my sister Kara's birthday. More specifically, it was Drew's and mine as well. We were triplets. I had a huge extended family where twins were normal, but we were the first set of 3. Every year, we always had a competition to see who could get each other the best presents. Drew and I had come up with an extra something special for Kara's gift this year. Her favorite band was having an autograph signing in Chicago. Since she couldn't go, we had driven all the way from St. Paul so we could get a photo of the Heartbreakers. Although we were very close, Kara and I didn't exactly share the same taste, and she was the girly girl cheerleader, and I was the free-spirited artist. but truthfully, her taste in music sucked. After the pain of listening to the Heartbreakers once, I never borrowed my sister's iPod again. The band sounded like a bunch of whining preteen boys. There was no way I could admit to going to an autograph signing. No way. The boy cleared his throat, still waiting for his drink. Anyway, the woman said, turning her attention back to her job. What can I get you? Alright, can I have a grenade of your regular brew and a grande Java chip frappuccino with soy? Sure thing, dear, she said as she wrote my order out to the cup. I'll be right back. I gotta grab the soy milk from the other fridge. She disappeared through the employees-only door, leaving me alone with them. The room filled with an awkward tension. They really should have another employee working here, I thought to myself. So, the boy said finally, ending the silence. You're into photography? Surprised by a sudden question, I blushed and nodded my head. I wanted to scream at myself for acting like a little love-struck girl, but something about his voice, just the sound of it, jumbled up the words inside my head. Suddenly, speaking English seemed foreign to me. He took a step towards me and flashed another mind-blowing smile. The dog tack around his neck caught a beam of light from above and shined back and forth. How long have you been taking pictures for? Since I was 10, I mumbled. I've always loved taking pictures with my mom's camera. Well, that was a stupid thing to say, Stella. Why did I have to bring my mom into this conversation? Can I see? He asked, and the woman trotted back into the room, and I felt a pressure lift off my chest. With her back to the counter, our conversation felt less intimate. Finally, I nodded my head, taken back from the stranger had been so forward with me, but something about the boy was so confident and charming. It was almost like I wanted to make him happy. I wanted to see that smile again. I lifted the strap from around my neck, and he moved in to take the camera. As he did, his arm brushed against mine. I held back a shiver. Like this, he said, and snapped it close of me. I found it hard not to grin and let out a small giggle. No, you probably have to adjust the focus. Here, like this. Reaching over, I put my hand on top of his and helped him with the lens. The boy looked up at me for a moment, my hand still over his. This close to him, I could see the beautiful thick lashes that surround his clear blue eyes. My stomach flipped over. Boys with thick lashes were gorgeous, of course, in a manly way. Slowly, he moved the camera away from me and up to his face. Smiled. Blushing again, I looked away, and my hair crested down to cover my face. What? The photographer doesn't like her picture taken? He asked and snapped another one. Not really, I answered, and took my camera back, dropping the strap around my neck. I felt the gauge in my hand. A sigh escaped my lips. The metal on my hands was the biggest comfort in the world. It was so easy to hide behind my camera. I much prefer looking through the lens, I told him. I focused it on his face for a moment before slowly swinging around to my right and capturing the artist at work. I held the camera up so he could look at the image on the digital screen. It's best when they don't know you're looking at them. That way you can get the real stuff. Real is when it's most beautiful. He stared at me, complimenting my words. What if they know you're looking? His words came out in a breathless sort of manner. Stepping back, I focused the camera on him again. With the camera between the boy and myself, he was less intimidating. I only saw a subject. My finger hit the button 1, 2, 3 times. Pulling it away from my face, I studied the photograph. I answered his question. Those can be beautiful too. We both watched each other, neither of us speaking. Alright, one green tea, that will be $2.59, the woman said, handing the boy his drink. And for you, she continued, putting my order down on the counter. It'll be $8.99. Startled, I gazed at the woman for a moment. I had completely forgotten why I was in Starbucks. A car horn honked outside, and I was snapped back to attention. Digging my wallet out of the purse, I searched for a 10. I know I have some cash in here somewhere, I muttered to myself. I didn't want to have to run back out to the car. That would be totally embarrassing. I got it, the boy said, and slapped the 20 down on the counter. Hopefully you can get some good shots today. He winked and then turned and exited the coffee shop. I stood in place and watched the door swing closed. He was that boy. Huh? Your coffee will get cold, the woman reminded me. With my hand still in the clouds, I grabbed the drinks and headed back to the parking lot. What took you so long? Drew complained as I slid back into my seat. Oh, you know, soy milk, cameras. I rattled off. My mind was still on that point. You spilled soy milk on your new camera? Drew said, sounding horrified. What? I asked, turning my head into his direction. Oh no, never mind. It was nothing. My brother threw me a curious glance. Drink that caffeine up. I think you're overtired. I shrugged my shoulders and took a big slurp of my drink. Drew started up the engine, and we pulled out of Starbucks. We continued on towards Chicago and onwards towards the Heartbreakers.